Hey guys, I'm so excited to welcome you to today's webinar. So this is back from popular demand. It's actually based on a keynote I did with the Coach Catalyst SuperCoach Virtual Summit. We had hundreds and hundreds of coaches from around the world show up, and the feedback was phenomenal. And so for you kind nerds, for you guys on my Prosper email list, I didn't want to hold back the training. This is actually behind a paywall with Coach Catalyst. So this is something special I wanted to repeat and do for all of you, completely free of charge, just as a thank you for learning and hanging out with me over the weeks, over the months, over the years. So without further ado, our topic for today is how to get 20 new nutrition clients in the next 30 days, even if you are just starting out, you're completely starting from scratch, or this is the talk I would give my younger self, that if I had no clients, no reputation, absolutely no money, and I was like, I need to get clients in the next 30 days, this is my playbook of what I would do to build my business back up. So for coming to today's webinar, I always like to make sure that it's packed full of value and I'm delivering a ton of, really practical takeaways. So if you don't already have the notes section open on your phone, on your laptop, if you're like a pen to paper, old school kind of writer, you will want to be able to take notes. So make sure you have a way to capture your ideas. And my commitment, my promise to all of you is that you're going to be leaving with 1 to at least 3 high impact activities. And I'm going to have a bunch of done for you resources. Now, a little secret, there's going to be some Easter eggs planted throughout the talk. So have your cell phones ready. There's some QR codes to go scan. And those are going to give you completely free plug and play advertising, swipe files, email scripts, resources that you can use inside your own business. So I want you to hit the ground running. I don't want you to have to spend a lot of time in analysis paralysis. This is the playbook where it's all done for you. So if that sounds good, oh yeah, Erin from the office, let's get into things. All right, so if I were to go back, I've been nutrition coaching for 14 years at this point, and I were to pull little Jen of the past aside, this is the talk I would give my younger self. Here's a cute little picture of me on the screen. I started out so eager, so nice, so excited to make a difference, but I had no idea what I was doing, right? Can anyone relate? Does anyone feel a little bit lost and overwhelmed? And there's so much conflicting and competing advice out there. There's so much noise. Sometimes it's hard to know who to even trust or listen to. So if you feel like that, you're not alone. I definitely used to feel like that. 14 years in, I definitely know that I have a stable, income and client list. And so I'm not panicking how to get to the end of the month and figure it out again the next month. And here's the really good news, right? It's 100% possible that if you do want to have a highly profitable nutrition coaching business, whether you're a fitness coach, whether you're just dabbling and getting into nutrition coaching, maybe you've been a coach for a while, but you've been struggling and stagnant to grow your client list, I want to support you because you were put on this earth to use your passion and your gifts in nutrition and health and supporting other people. So I want to make sure that you succeed if this is a career that you've chosen for yourself. And on top of that, not only do I want you to have a lot of fulfillment in what you're doing as a coach, but I also want you to be able to experience that freedom, that ease, that flexibility, that sense of security that you deserve and crave just as much as the next person out there who's doing meaningful work in their life. So I promise, if you hang with me for the webinar today, it's packed full of gold. So remember I hinted that you were going to get some Easter eggs. Well, there are 6 Easter eggs planted throughout today's webinar. Each Easter egg will have a different code that belongs with it. And if you open up your phone, you actually can scan that QR code and it's going to take you to some secret passages on our website in places that are going to give you that little bit of that lift or that boost. So let's dive in. Okay, so a quick intro. My name is Jennifer Broxterman. I'm a registered dietitian and nutrition coach, and I actually have 2 businesses that I own in the nutrition coaching space. So the first business is called Nutrition RX, and it's what I formed back in 2010 when I was just starting out as a little solo entrepreneur coach. I had a passion for helping people eat well. I was doing some sports nutrition coaching, And then things just started to grow and snowball and snowball. And now I actually run a team of registered dietitians where we help people with everything from weight loss to eating disorder recovery to just a better relationship with food. We still work with high performance athletes. I've had the honor of working with the NHL and a bunch of NHL hockey players, Olympic athletes, varsity athletes on all different sports and levels. It's a ton of fun. And then my team, I brought on individuals that could complement, with their own strengths to my weaknesses. So now we do things like IBS and digestive health. We do some perimenopause and female hormone health issues. It's so cool to have a group of people now supporting my dream that I started all the way back in 2010. And then on the flip side, things just were getting so successful and crazy with Nutrition RX, I started having coaches begin to reach out to me going, what are you doing? Because I'm also a certified nutrition coach, but we do not have like 500 plus new clients a year. How are you guys growing at this speed? How are you getting so many inquiries? And so I started to get on camera and I actually filmed a full nutrition certification. We go through the ins and outs of nutrition coaching using something called motivational interviewing, but we also give you the business side of running your own nutrition coaching practice. So swipe files and done for you emails and client resources. Basically, it's everything I've spent my life's work building packaged into a certification, including one-on-one mentoring to give you the support you need to go for it and hit the moon. So I've been in the space a long time. We've now certified more than 350 coaches. So I definitely am very intimately connected to the struggle that I see a lot of nutrition coaches facing today. On top of that, I'm so lucky to be an industry expert in a couple of different places. So if you guys have heard of the company Precision Nutrition, I've done presentations and keynotes for them. I've done many article writing for their website. And then I also got to be a part of revising their level 1 textbook to help bring that to the masses. And then, like I was mentioning, in the last couple of years, we've run about 350 plus coaches through our Prosper Nutrition certification. And we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So around the world, from beginner coaches to really experienced coaches, it's been such a privilege to see you guys go out and crush it, especially financially, right? Because you're taking what you love and you're making a real difference. So if you enjoy what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to drop some Easter eggs so you can go a little bit deeper. And one of my favorite things to do is to be a guest on podcasts. I've had the honor of being on over 60 different shows in the last couple of years. So if you really enjoy our style of coaching, which is all about games and play and mindset, that's a lot about what we talk about in our podcast. So I will link that in an Easter egg in just a second. So there's that first Easter egg. I want to give you a second that if you want to pull out your phone and you scan the QR code that you see on the screen, that very first pink egg will take you to a one-page list of all the different podcasts. So if you want to nerd out as a nutrition coach and go deep down that rabbit hole, make sure you scan that first code. Okay. Now, I show this particular slide with our calculator and a month where we did $72,000 in revenue. Not to do an obvious brag or even a humble brag. It's because you hear a lot about gurus out there, and I hate that word, please don't call me a guru, where they're teaching things that they haven't even achieved themselves. When I first started as a nutrition coach, I remember I was ecstatic that a good month was like $3,000 or $4,000 in selling nutrition packages to my clients. And man, if I got like 5 new clients in a month, that was a record month. Now that I'm 14 years in, I've got the stats to back up what this growth starts to look like over time. And the coaches that keep learning, it just is compound interest. It just is unbelievable where your career is going to go. So regularly, our averages are like 20 to 30 new clients a month. So we sign up at least someone a day, brand new, to come on board. We have an active roster of over 500 to 600 nutrition clients between a team of 3 to 4 of us working with, nutrition clients. And decent months, like average months for us, are 25 to 40K. So I'm here to say, not in a bragging way, but this is entirely possible if you stick with it, But it isn't just about brute hard work, it's about intelligent strategy. So that's what I want to give you guys today, is parts of my playbook. Long-winded way of saying, I got you. So let's get ready, let's take some notes and dive in. Oh, and there's Easter egg number 2 on the screen. So our purple egg that is floating on the screen right now is connected to our QR code with our About page. And why am I starting off by sharing our About page? Like, how interesting can an About page be? One of the first things I realized as my client list started to grow is the more authentically I started to show up on my website. I went from vanilla and very cookie cutter and safe, and I started putting more funny pictures of me. So you can see I'm in a Care Bear suit, right, on the screen. I started to actually just vulnerably share the highs and lows of what was going on in my life. And by being more of myself, more real, people started to really be attracted to that, and my caseload grew. So the first coaching tip I would give you if you're just starting out is that people don't buy coaching, they buy the individual coach. So you can use our About page as an example of what really showing your personality might look like when you're trying to connect with a future potential client. And so like I promised at the start of our webinar, I'm going to be giving you my entire playbook because I want you to be a success too. Okay, ready? Let's dive in. So the first quote I use all the time with my nutrition clients, but also with our Prosper Nutrition Certification mentoring students, is this phrase: success leaves clues. And why I think that's such an important sentence is because you don't have to invent the wheel, right? You can follow a proven path where someone's made a discovery or a realization or noticed patterns, and you can copy those patterns and get the same results, but faster. So when I look at a lot of the coaches that we work with one-on-one, I would say that a lot of people, their days are unfocused, chaotic, hot dumpster fire messes, where basically they're trying to do all the things and basically be in all the places, right? Should I be on which social media platforms? Do I need an email list? Am I supposed to be writing every day? I have to see my clients. I have to fight all the fires. I'm also probably head janitor of my facility. It's a lot. And so if you end the day feeling like all you did was put out fires and deal with one dumpster fire to the next, and your end of the day feels just like a rag doll, where you're like on the floor, absolutely exhausted. You know you worked hard, but you're also scratching your head being like, what do I have to show for it? Like, did my business actually grow? Did I get more clients? Did I actually make money today? So yeah, if you're feeling really exhausted, and I know that you guys are all hard workers, but what's the struggle is that your coaching business isn't really growing month after month, year after year, and you're wondering if you can hold on to make a living, this talk is for you. So if that's a sensation that comes up a lot for you, my first advice to my younger self is to stop running around chaotically and just stop and have quiet time. Carve out the time and with a notepad to think, and the activity I want you to do in this thinking time is an 80-20 analysis, the 80-20 rule. And basically, the question to ask yourself is what 20% of your efforts are yielding 80% of your current income? So when I look back and I answer that analysis now with 14 years of data, and if I was starting with $0 in my bank account today, I'm a brand new coach, I have quit my job, I've burned the bridges, and I have to figure out how to get 20 nutrition clients in the next month, starting at 0, this is the question I would ask myself, is what 20% of my efforts right now is probably going to bring in 80% of the business I'm looking for. So before I give you my solution to the 80-20 analysis, I have a funny question I want you to answer right off the top of your mind. And that question is, your toilet's broken. Like, we got sewage going everywhere. It is a horrible mess. What's your next move? Outside of cleaning up what you can do yourself, what is your next phone call? What is your next question? What is your next move? So as you think about that question, like, my toilet's broken, how do I solve that problem? I bet 1 or 2 thoughts came to your mind. The first is you might go online or call someone you know and go, hey, do you know a good plumber? So when people are shopping services, that's usually the question they ask is, hey, does my network know someone that's good to solve this particular problem that I'm having? So keep that question in mind. It's a really important question. The second thing you might do is just go on your phone or go on your computer and open up a Google Sheet and basically go search plumber, my city name. So in a Google search, where's the closest plumber that's available that I can get them in to come clean up this mess? So if you kind of came to those same two conclusions, you're thinking like I am, and we're going to come back to this strategy in a little bit. So if I start to answer and reveal to you guys my own 80-20 analysis, the very first thing you probably didn't write down on your own sheet of paper is the word superconnector. Now, what is a superconnector? We're going to talk about two types: relationship superconnectors and also location superconnectors. Let's talk about a relationship superconnector first. I want you to think of a relationship superconnector. So on the screen, you can see like one guy touching a circle that's connected to three people. And of those three people, that person is then connected to an even bigger network. Think of it a little bit like drilling for oil. You're going to be drilling and drilling, and then you're going to strike it. So a superconnector is a person who is heavily connected to the ideal audience, the ideal nutrition client or avatar you want to work with. Let's be really practical. I always believe in giving examples. A doctor would be a superconnector. They're probably connected to patients who need support with healthier eating habits. So one doctor might know many clients or patients who would be a great fit to work with you. A sports team coach would be a superconnector. They're connected to athletes if they're youth and or their parents, or just adult rec sports teams, where one person knows a lot of people who might be looking for help with their nutrition. Other examples might be the HR rep for a workplace department that runs a healthy health and wellness committee for the organization. It might be a small business owner that believes in taking good care of their employees. It might be a gym owner, could be a super connector, connected to the full membership that they've been building, again, of people interested in health and wellness. So these super connectors are really important because they're the gateway to an audience that they've already been building on your behalf. So when I first started out, I realized the power of super connectors first by accident, and then I leveraged it more strategically. So I had a parent reach out to me who knew I was a new nutrition coach and asked if I could give a nutrition talk to her son's sports team where all the athletes and all the parents could attend to learn more about healthy eating and athletic performance. And I was like, oh wow, like they're gonna pay me a couple $100. This is a great opportunity. And so I made one awesome presentation and I suddenly got a few new nutrition clients out of it. And I was like, oh wow, like that only took an hour of my time. And yet instead of going on a whole mishmash of like social media posts or trying to figure out where my next person was coming from, I got to be positioned as the credible expert and then had parents and their children who wanted to sign up and work with me. So that's what I started to do is I built one really good, powerful nutrition presentation that allowed me to connect with the audience and build some rapport. And basically, you guys have heard of the know, like, and trust factor. It's a great way to build that very, very quickly. Plus, for that hour of time, you are now speaking one to many as opposed to a one-on-one conversation. And that is super powerful. So here I am on the screen, little Jen, I'm talking about vegetables or protein or whatever it was. But the key thing, if you're gonna do a super connector presentation, is you have to do what's called a CTA. And if you don't know what a CTA is, that's a call to action. Basically being really clear, hey, like here's how to work with me. If you enjoyed this talk, this is how I help people in the community. Here is my website, my email, my phone number. You could do a QR code where they scan it, how to find me on the social media channels, but make sure people have a way to reach out to you if they're enjoying it. Then another really good idea stumbled upon me. I was maybe a few presentations in, and I wanted to really entice people that, if they wanted to work with me, I wanted to make it really easy. So what I did is I put a juicy bonus on every person's chair. And essentially, I came up with the idea of the gift certificate method. So back in the day, my packages were maybe $250, $300, $400. And what I did is I put a $50 gift certificate on each person's chair in the audience. And essentially, it was valued at $50. So it wasn't going to give them the whole package for free, but juicy enough that it's like, wow, I really liked her. I wanted to work with her. Even sweeter that I get some money off to be able to do that. But I realized you need to put an expiry date on the gift certificate because that creates some urgency for people to go and use it with you. So that's what I started to do. Is every talk I did, I'd put a $50 gift certificate on the chair. I had a little 3-month expiry date on each one. And then I would usually hide one gift certificate under someone's chair and tape it to the bottom where some lucky audience member would win an entire nutrition coaching package for free with me. And that always generated a lot of excitement when I gave talks. So yeah, put it on the chair, put a deadline, make sure that your business information and how to reach out to you and work with you is super clear. And that super connector strategy, oh my goodness, like that alone got me 20 clients in a month if I could book 4 or 5 presentations. So about 1 presentation a week. Now, I always believe in making things really easy for new coaches. Would it be helpful to see what my old gift certificate used to look like? So on the screen, I'm just going to show you way back in the day what I used to do. But then I don't want you guys to have to reinvent the wheel. So I pre-designed for you guys in Canva a totally done for you $50 gift certificate. Now you can go edit the amount if you want to make it larger or smaller. And then I've left space where if you just want to add your name, your logo, your contact info, the gift certificate is totally ready to go. Oh, would you look at that? There is our 3rd Easter egg on this Easter egg hunt. So this 3rd Easter egg is multicolored and you're going to get 5 bonus advertising resources associated with just this one Easter egg. So again, I'm going to give you a second to pull out your phone, scan that QR code, and that's for free, completely going to let you grab this swipe file of done for you stuff to get the ball rolling in those first 30 days. Now, if you missed the QR code, don't worry, we'll come back to it. So I hinted about super connectors being 2 things, relationships being one of them. Places can actually be a super connector. So when I sat down in that quiet 80-20 thinking time, I wrote down all the places that I thought location-wise, my avatar, my ideal nutrition client might spend some time. So I wrote down things like doctor's offices, sports centers, gym change rooms, farmers markets. I even thought about the running paths through our city and thought about taping posters to telephone poles along the jogging path by the river where I happen to live. I also thought about teachers in bulletin boards and break rooms in the staff room, the hospital bulletin boards in the communal kind of like, mezzanine area where people arrive, local coffee shops in neighborhoods that were close to where my office was located. I even thought about things like the side of mailboxes where I could tape up tearaway flyers so people could, grab one when they were going to get the mail. Lululemon. I mean, we happen to have a Lululemon in my city, and I was like, I would imagine fit, active men and women who want to buy athleisure might be interested in nutrition coaching. So again, do you want to see a poster way back in the day what this used to look like? I had a big sign that just said nutrition counseling. I listed a few of the different areas of expertise that I had. And then like old school posters, I just had little tearaways that had my name, my website, my phone number, and my email. So people could just grab the contact info and take it with them. Again, if you like QR codes, you can even just do a QR code that people can scan to their phone. Would you like a done for you resource connected to another Easter egg? We designed 4 done for you nutrition coaching posters in different colors. Hopefully one of them fits nicely with your brand or your look and feel. We left a space for where your logo can go. And then again, if you take your cell phone and you want to scan this QR code, that will unlock that 5-pack of advertising resources completely for free that again, you can go and use. So think about in the 80-20 analysis, where are your location super connectors that you can actually just passively go hang up these posters? And especially if public speaking makes you feel a little bit nervous and the relationship super connectors, you just feel a little bit awkward. This is a great option, especially for introverts, that you get yourself out there one-to-many simply by just going around and hanging up your posters. So I'm trying to think, like back in the day, I had a little poster kit. I'd walk around with tape and staples and push pins, and I just asked, doctors' permission if I could go in the waiting room and just hang up my nutrition counseling poster. I asked my local coffee shop if they were okay if I put it on the local community board. I don't know if you're allowed to do this, but I just went up to the sides of mailboxes and started taping them to mailboxes within, a vicinity of where I was working. It worked so well. I was shocked by this solution and how easy it was. Okay, moving on from the super connectors, another part of the 80-20 analysis when I was just starting out was something that I learned from a mentor who I was working with at the time. And this mentor's name was John Goodman. And what he taught me about is a principle called the 2 golden rules. Now, what are those rules? They're short and simple. 1, you have to do a really good job. 2, you have to make sure that everyone knows about you. Gulp. That was the part I used to struggle with. So early nutrition coach Jen was all about doing a really good job. I was there to over-deliver value and delight and surprise and wow my nutrition clients. But then what I realized is I was doing a terrible job talking about who I help. I was scared to put myself out there. I rarely posted on social media. I thought, who's even looking? What's the point? Why bother? And that was the message I needed to hear from my mentor at that time, is I'm doing the world a disservice if I'm good at what I do, but no one knows about me, because then I can't help as many people. So back to the plumber situation, and now the golden rule. Do a good job, make sure everyone knows about you. If your toilet broke, one way that everyone knows about you is Google, right? We would Google, help, I need a plumber in my local city. So the part of the way that everyone's going to start to know about you is what I want to call the Google strategy. So what is the Google strategy? It's Google reviews. They were so paramount in helping me grow my business really, really quickly, because I realized that was an important way to get social proof. If you're in a foreign town or foreign city, maybe you're a tourist and you're trying to find somewhere to go eat that's local and well rated, you're going to Google restaurants near me, right? And then you might quickly look at how many Google stars they have out of 5, how many total Google reviews are. And I want you to think about 2 different restaurants. One has 592 Google reviews with a 4.9 average rating. The other restaurant has 22 Google reviews with a 2.3 Google star rating, and you're reading account after account of food poisoning coming out of this restaurant. Where do you think you're going to go? You didn't talk to any of the locals, but the locals actually talked to you with the Google review system. So Google is one of the best ways that you can satisfy golden rule number 2, is make sure everyone knows about you. But instead of you talking about yourself, it's like your clients are your wingman or your wingwoman doing it on your behalf. So there was a system, I'm a systems girl if you get to know me well, on how we started to make it easier for our clients and customers to leave us positive Google reviews. And it sort of actually started on accident. So one of the things I was obsessed with was golden rule 1, do a really good job. And one of the ways I did that is I did this healthy habit check-in form with every nutrition client as they came to the end of the package. So on the screen, again, I want to show you the questions so that it's easy and straightforward. And we would just ask things like, start with your name, right? Your first and your last name. And if you're trying to furiously take notes, don't worry, there's another Easter egg coming in just a second, so you have all of this to keep for free. Our very first question on our healthy habit check-in form was, what was your starting point, right? Like, what were you struggling with before you started to work with us? And getting them to go back and really reflect on the beginning part of their journey. Because sometimes people forget exactly how far they've come and how many changes they've made. Then the second question was all about the healthy habits they've been building. So our exact question is, what are your top 1 to 3 healthy eating habits or positive mindsets that you've learned? And on the form, we gave them an opportunity to reflect on what's been most important that they've taken away from the coaching experience. Then we go into celebration mode. Let's celebrate some wins. Have there been any standout moments or milestones in your journey that you'd like to highlight? What are you most proud of? Then we're trying to get some feedback, especially as I started to grow my team. This was my quality assurance question. So the next question was coach feedback. Who on our team have you been working with, And do you have any feedback we can pass along? Now, little subtle point, notice I'm not fishing for a compliment. If it's not going well, it doesn't say like, what are all the things you like about your coach or what are all the things you don't like about your coach? We intentionally frame this as a neutral question, and pretty much always we get really positive feedback. But in that one rare case where maybe someone isn't having the best experience, the nutrition coach is always reviewing all the answers they get from their clients. But me as the owner of the business, it's a great chance for me to sort of look at it every month and just make sure that every coach on my team is meeting the standards that I have for my clients to have a really amazing experience. And then what we do is we wrap up the check-in form with a final thoughts question. Would you recommend this nutrition coaching program to others? And if so, why? So like I said, we started to send this out at the end of every nutrition coaching package as people were starting to wrap up. Now, if you do want a copy of those questions, so you can create a Google form, something really similar. Oh, there's Easter egg number 3. There's that multicolor Easter egg that connects to those 5 bonus resources. So if you've been scanning the QR code as we go along and you've entered your info, you already have this. But I wanted to give you a screenshot of those questions so you can go create something really similar for yourself, or feel free to copy it entirely. Now, with the Google form being filled out, it then lent itself to a really natural conversation. So as our nutrition coaches were sort of reviewing the answers on the form with their clients, celebrating the wins, looking back on all the progress they'd made, it's less awkward, especially after someone has said, yeah, I would totally recommend this nutrition coaching program to others, to then ask this question. Would you mind leaving what you already wrote down as an online review? And then people are like, yeah, like that's so easy. I already have my answers. Cool, I'll just go type that up and turn it into a Google and a Facebook review. Another thing we did is we gave people multiple ways to tell other people about working with us. So again, I'm using the power of the super connectors and the 2 golden rules. So a challenge I did in my first year of trying to expand is I got a stack of business cards made. And at the start of each day, I pulled out 3 business cards per client I was going to work with. So if I had 4 clients that day, I'd pull out 12 business cards. And essentially, as that know, like, and trust factor was building through our nutrition coaching package, at the end of the appointment, I would ask the person and go, hey, like, I love working with people just like you. Can you help me with a little favor so I can find more awesome clients like you? If you'd like a script, here's one right on the screen. So keep it short and sweet. I'm currently trying to grow my nutrition coaching business, and I want to work with more awesome people just like you. If I gave you 3 business cards, would you be willing to pass them on to 3 different friends? So feel free, if you're liking that, to take a quick screenshot. And that gives you a beautiful, simple script to use as you give those business cards away. Another thing that's a spin off the business card strategy is what I call a 3-way email intro. Bonus points if you can actually pull the person in and take a cell phone selfie of the 2 of you if you're face-to-face, or if you're an online coach, totally fine, take a screenshot of the 2 of you on video together, kind of both smiling at the camera. And so again, if you would like a template, here is our 3-way email template that, again, I'm going to link to that Easter egg QR code. Hey, friend's name, I just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to my awesome nutrition coach. Coach, your name, right? Coach Jen, or whatever the case might be. Jen and I have been working together for the past few months, and she's helped me a ton with fill in the blank. So kind of the main nutrition issue that you've been helping that client with. I thought you might be interested in her nutrition coaching services, so here's a little more info about how to work with her. Very clear call to action. You put in your website link, your phone number, your email, your Instagram handle, maybe not all those things, but the main 1 or 2 ways that you want this person to reach back out to you. I also took a picture of us, so you can put a face to the name. I'll let the 2 of you take it from here if this is something you might be interested in. Sincerely, like your client's name. So again, if you want that script for the 3-way email intro, there's our Easter egg, there's the QR code. Go get that as part of your quick start advertising kit. And to have a friend introduce you to one of their friends, now you've already broken the barrier of know, like, and trust. Because again, we trust, like the plumber idea. Hey, do you know someone that's good? When it comes through a direct recommendation from their friend, you're already in, and it's much, much easier to start to kind of make that sale and build that rapport with that stranger. Okay, I have not yet talked about social media, and that's because that's not the first place I would start if I was building my business from zero, but I wouldn't neglect it at the same time. So for the last part of today's webinar, I wanted to quickly touch on social media strategy and give you some really practical tips. So social media strategy, let's dive in. The first thing I would do is something that I call a reintroduction post. And it's really important on social media that you have a clear fit picture of your face that needs to be smiling, demonstrating you walking the talk. So if you're a fitness coach, it might be a picture of you in the gym, but very inviting and smiley. If you're a nutrition coach, for me, I love to do what I call a veggie bucket photo. I chop up a whole bunch of veggies, I hold a big container. I always put veggie buckets in my fridge anyways. It's just a nice way to warmly demonstrate, hey, I'm someone that believes in these values and walks the talk as well. Now, with our Prosper Nutrition graduates, we also give them a little boost of authority and credibility, and that is their graduation badges. So every time a student of ours completes their final exam and comes out as a certified Prosper Nutrition coach, they get a yellow tile with their face that goes, hey, like, I'm a certified nutrition coach. And then they also get a badge with their name, their business name, the certification seal. And again, pairing that with also a nice photo of you as like a carousel swipe type of file, it is amazing what this does for getting new clients. But I want to give you a script. What do you write as your caption? So if you think about kind of social media a bit like a waterfall, things are coming through the feed and they're coming and going all different times. Now your friends, your family are probably aware that you're a health coach, a fitness coach, a nutrition coach, but you're also probably picking up new eyeballs, new followers who maybe don't know the context quite as well. So what I recommend is every 6 to 12 months to do this type of style of post that we call a reintroduction post. So you take a nice smiling photo of yourself walking the talk along with some credibility components, whether that's a certificate or badge or graduation icon to show that you're credible, you're certified, you know what you're talking about. And then in the caption, you want to write to your ideal type of client an invitation that they're allowed to reach out to you if this is a service that they're looking for. And as an aside, this is actually how I've found people I've needed to work with. You know, maybe I was searching for a wedding videographer and on my social media feed, someone is reintroducing themselves as a wedding videographer. If that's what I'm sort of looking for, I'm going to be drawn into that post. So here's a really powerful script if you're a nutrition coach or fitness coach looking to get more clients. So here's how it goes. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is your name, and I'm a certified nutrition coach who is passionate about empowering individuals to have a happy and healthy relationship with food and body image, while helping them become their most confident and strongest selves. As the founder or head nutrition coach at your business name, I'm on a mission to support as many people as possible in achieving success with healthy eating while embracing balance, joy, and sustainable nutrition practices for the long run. I'm dedicated to helping you break free from the overwhelm and confusion surrounding food so you can thrive, have lots of energy, and reclaim your health. Maybe you've followed me for a while and know just how much happiness I get from seeing my nutrition clients succeed at their goals. Or maybe you're brand new around here. Welcome. If this message is catching you at the right time and you're looking for a nutrition coach to help you nourish your body, mind, and soul from a holistic perspective, let's connect. I'd love to embark on a transformative journey together. If this sounds interesting, send me a message and let's chat some more. So again, if you missed that full script, there's our third Easter egg up on the screen again. You can scan the QR code, and as one of those 5 bonus resources you're going to get to keep, we've typed out the full reintroduction script. We've had our students try this, and one of my students just had 149, 150 likes and fist bumps online, so many comments. He got 3 new nutrition clients and a public speaking gig booked just from following the script with his graduation badge and a smiling photo of him doing some food prep. So we know that this stuff really works. Now, the other thing I would do on social media is I would not overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. And my other strategy in this first month of trying to get more clients is what I call be a role model. So 3 to 4 times a week, share a photo of you demonstrating healthy nutrition and a healthy lifestyle. And then in your caption, tell a little short story so they can get to know you a little bit better. So I put up photos all the time where I chop veggie buckets, lifting weights in the gym. I love to hike and go camping, so I share stories of that, or like what I'm cooking while I'm camping. I will hold up little resources from our certification, like our nutrition rainbow vegetable and fruit game. I'll share me, going to Zion and visiting my brother who lives around there. And again, like you'll see this theme of hiking show up a lot for me, more veggie bucket photos. I can't tell you how many nutrition clients I've gotten just because they followed me for a while and they're like, wow, like you're really approachable. You don't make it seem overwhelming and scary. You're not doing like bodybuilder meal planning or like talking about macros all the time. You just seem really real. You just make it seem like it's really attainable for someone like me. So that's kind of the beauty of the social media role modeling is remember, people don't buy coaching or coaching packages. They buy coaches. They're buying you. So you need to demonstrate that skill that you have as a nutrition or fitness coach, but just do it in a way that's more relatable through pictures and storytelling. So that's my social media advice is you don't have to overcomplicate it or get really nervous or make it look super professional. In fact, I find the more off-the-cuff selfie raw photos of me just working out and a healthy eating, those are the ones that actually bring in the most clients. So if you guys have hung out so far, I am so excited that you've been on this journey. Now, I always like to leave with a very clear short action list, and I call it the Post-it method. So if I could take all the different ideas and summarize them for little Jen into a Post-it, this is what I would hand younger me back in 2010 when I was just starting out. So my 80-20 summary, little Jen, is to do this if you're trying to get 20 clients in the next 30 days. Sit down and truly map out your 80-20. What 20% of your efforts have brought in 80% of your clients in the past. Stick with what works. Number 2, it's all about the super connectors. There are relationship super connectors and there are location super connectors. With the relationship super connectors, do the powerful talk with the gift certificate that has the expiry date. That's a clear call to action to start to work with you. If I was nervous or afraid to do public speaking, I would go even harder on the poster strategy. So that was also a really important way, using the location super connector to help me grow. I would do the 2 golden rules, do a very good job and make sure everyone knew about me. So to help with that second piece, I would do the checking in form with the exact questions I've given away in today's talk. I would then review my checking in form with my clients, and then you have to go for the ask. I would ask for Google and Facebook reviews. I would do the 3 business card strategy. Hey, if I gave you 3 cards, would you be willing to share them with 3 different people and pass on my name? I would also do selfies with my clients or screenshots if I coach online and do that 3-way email introduction. And then social media, I would keep it super simple. I would do the 1 reintroduction post, and then I would post 3 to 4 times a week, kind of continuously, storytelling and just being a role model. Don't get worried. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to be real and authentic. So if you've hung with me up to this point, well done. Very few coaches actually pause from the busyness of their day-to-day business to really think about the strategy of what they're trying to accomplish and how they're trying to grow. And so thank you for trusting me to learn and to get a little bit better. So now, this is how I always like to end every nutrition talk I give in the community. Decisions. There's a lot you can do, so I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Instead, this is my final question to all of you. What are your 1, 2, no more than 3 takeaways that you are actually going to commit to doing from what you've learned today? If you can have a very clear list, right? Action, we want action. Actually, let me correct myself. Action is very important to moving the needle, but it's not blind action alone. It is strategic action that sets you up for the successful career I know you're all capable of achieving. So on the screen, we have a blank slide with 3 openings. What are your 1, 2, 3 most important action steps you're going to take away from our conversation from this webinar that we're having right now? I hope you have a clear sense of where you want to go. And now if you're starting to think like, wow, Jen, like I am fired up. You just taught me and gave away so much free stuff that I can actually use. Can you keep helping me? Yes, I can. That's a great question. I would love to support you. And the best way I can do that is to keep helping you for free. I've been so lucky and so blessed to figure this stuff out and have a career that I love that pays really well. And this is the gift I wish I would have had when I was just beginning. So I want to make available to you this completely free masterclass called Liftoff that is available, and you can go through it. You'll get plug and play client resources that, again, you can just keep for free. And it's filled with games and metaphors and analogies that you can use as a coach. These are some of the best things I sort of stumbled upon that my clients just loved. And these are the things that they started to tell their friends about. So if you look on the screen, we have our 4th Easter egg, our little blue one. There's a QR code that goes with it. Or if you wanted to punch it into the website, it's prospernutritioncoaching.com/liftoff. And I want to just gift you this nutrition coaching masterclass as a thank you for being on the webinar. If you want to go a little bit deeper, I also believe in paying for speed. So the name of our next program is Accelerator. And just like Accelerator hints at, it's meant to get you crazy results very quickly. So we took our full-blown nutrition certification and boiled it down into like an hour and a half of our best hitting material. And in Accelerator, you actually get 7 different nutrition coaching resources you get to keep. So it is our best price package we possibly have, where we can support you as a coach to get better and to keep growing your business. And finally, our next Easter egg, our little green one on the screen, linked to our full Prosper Nutrition certification. Now, this program is where we have really strategic action that basically meets personalized one-on-one mentorship and every done-for-you resource you could ever imagine from my nutrition coaching practice into your lap. So we give you so many sweet, sweet bonuses. The first, right, yes, is that I want to give you, another free gift. Oh my goodness, I feel like Santa Claus today. No, in all honesty, I joke, but it's the best way I can help you guys go crush it. And if you can get success, then you have a better chance of being in this industry a longer time and making the impact that I want every nutrition coach to have on this world, which is that we help people avoid toxic diet culture and stay healthy and well because of great coaches just like you. So the first free gift with Easter egg number 6 is if you do put your name down on our wait list, you get a whole bunch of bonuses. So you get early access to the limited number of spots that we open up. You'll get special pricing where we actually will give you a crazy discount that we don't advertise on our public website. It only goes to people who are on our wait list. And then finally, we have a fully done 6-week nutrition kickstart built for you with resources. It plugs in place directly into Coach Catalyst. Coaches love this because it's white label. So you can pop in your name and pop in your logo. It looks like you built all this from scratch yourself, and you can just go start selling it and making money off of it immediately. So that's a bonus for everyone who's on the wait list and who ends up choosing to sign up for the certification. And would you look at that? If you go under your virtual seat, as a thank you for being at this keynote today, I want to give all of you guys a $500 off gift certificate. Now, similar to what I do in real life, I guess this is real life technically, it expires 3 months from the date you sign up for the waitlist. So this kind of has a ticking clock from you grabbing these bonuses. And if you do choose to sign up for our Prosper Nutrition certification as sort of a secret thank you for coming in this back way, I want to be able to give you a gift certificate to hit the ground running, get a little bit of a better price, and be able to do this if this is something you've wanted to do for a while. So we'll have all the information just on the screen. Again, the QR code to Easter egg number 6, if you haven't scanned it already, is right there. So this is the certification for you coaches who really do want to follow the Success Leaves Clues plan. Like I said, all the resources are yours to keep for life. You have the ability to make them white label and add your own logo and name to it. This is going to save you hundreds of hours of work. And the coaches that we've seen go through have incredible results. Like Chelsea, for example. This was such a sweet thing she wrote on her graduation check-in form. Out of all the nutrition courses available right now, this is the best certification I've ever taken. It is worth every penny. Or Charisse. Charisse had no nutrition clients when she signed up. And in that true fashion of getting your first 20 clients in 30 days, Charisse wrote, "Our gym is up 28 new nutrition clients this month. I have so much more confidence in my ability to help people." So I designed this for kind nerds who want to make more money and make a difference as nutrition coaches. And on the inside, we're going to go through a total of 20 different nutrition coaching lessons. We're going to go through not only the science of nutrition, but how to work with different populations, from disordered eating to menopause and perimenopause. What happens if your client gets pregnant or is breastfeeding while they're working with you? How to spot disordered eating. Older adults, teenagers, athletes, high advanced level, sports nutrition clients. It's all there and on the inside. So you're going to get to graduate with your own certified nutrition coach stamp. You'll have more confidence, more clarity, just more ideas of what to do on that transformational journey that you'll be taking your own clients on. And to share one last story, I'm going to quickly bring up Zach. Zach was a personal trainer we started to work with. He was mostly making his income from fitness, but he was doing a little bit of nutrition coaching on the side. But at best, he was making, $200-400 a month from his nutrition offerings. Could not crack the code on how to sell nutrition with his fitness services. So Zach went through our certification. We worked with him in those one-on-one mentoring calls. I think that's the coolest part. And he texted me this 11-month update, and he's like, "Jen, I just went through and added up all my nutrition clients since last May. I have done $92,678 since then. That's actually insane to see." And then Zach sent me another DM, I think roughly like a year and a half, 2 years later. And he said, "Jen, I've done roughly $290,000 in nutrition coaching in under 2 years since going through your cert. I never went back and to look at all of this. Thank you again for your help." Like, it truly is possible to be really, really successful. So you already know this. Humans want to do business with people they know, they like, they trust. If you get inside the certification and you realize it's not for you, you've made a mistake, we have a 60-day fully refundable money back guarantee. I don't want to take your money if this isn't the right program for you. I just want to work with those kind nerds who want to become amazing nutrition coaches and make an amazing living doing that. So I want you to feel like there is no risk whatsoever. So if you've been sort of following Prosper for a while, if this has sort of caught your eye, by all means, you can jump in our next cohort, use the $500 off gift certificate from our webinar today. And then if you get in and you realize you already know the material or it's not for you, we totally stand by our guarantee. It's just important to us that we uphold, the value that I want every one of you guys to get from it. So with all of that, I just want to say a really big thank you. I appreciate that you coaches came to the SuperCoach Virtual Summit, and I hope you got a ton out of how to get 20 new nutrition or fitness clients in the next 30 days. I hope on my end, I made good on my promise that you are leaving with 1 or 2 or 3 really high impact ideas, scripts, templates that you can go start applying. And I want you to hit the ground running, right? So if you want to stay in touch, I've put that Easter egg number 2, the purple one, and that QR code takes you back to my About page. That will have my Instagram, my email on there. If you are an Instagram user, come hit me up, send me a DM. I'm at prosper_NC, or you can always just send me an email at info@prospernc.com. And if any of you missed those little hidden Easter eggs as we went along, I know a few of you were scrambling to get your phones open quickly. There are our 6 Easter eggs across the screen. And I know that Trevor had some questions lined up for Q&A. So why don't we go through that in the chat right now? And I'm happy to answer in the final time that we have left all your questions that were coming through as I was presenting. Okay, so Trevor, let's go through and we'll start with the question number 1. Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm kind of in both camps, right? Because like I said, I've done some presentations and writing for Precision Nutrition, and then I have my own certification. I'd say Precision Nutrition, I would always speak positively for companies that I've helped and supported. I think they do an amazing job at this deep science of nutrition coaching. So if you really want to nerd out on energy systems, you really want to know all the different hormones and vitamins and minerals, and like you feel like you just don't have that science base, Precision Nutrition is a really good place, really great place actually to go get that. The downside of Precision Nutrition is you have to be very independent as a learner. So they basically kind of send you a textbook in the mail. There is an online portal with some reading and videos you can watch, but it's on you to go write the exam and figure it out and kind of self-teach. With Prosper, we definitely still go into the science of nutrition coaching, but the way I tend to teach it is more in analogies and metaphors and fun and simple way. It's how I talk through the science with my own nutrition clients. But the bigger part of our certification is focused on the resources and working with real clients. So we practice what to say and do in the initial assessment. We go through how to set up your packages and prices. We give you that one-on-one mentoring. So you have a real nutrition coach who's been in the business for a long time to kind of hold your hand and be your guide. And everything is individualized on your timeline around your business. So I think those are the biggest two differences. You can't go wrong with either. It's just more a matter of what it is that you're looking for. Yeah, great question. Okay, what's our next question from the chat? So are Google reviews still important, even if you run a fully online business? Yes, they are. So though most people think Google reviews are attached to a physical location, in fact, my two businesses are a great example. NutritionRx, my brick and mortar nutrition coaching practice, we have Google reviews where we rank really highly in my home city. We have almost 300 5-star Google reviews. But Prosper is a worldwide nutrition certification. I actually don't give our physical address for our Prosper website, but coaches all over the world are still leaving Google reviews for this. So Google reviews are important because they will bump you up in SEO, search engine optimization, when someone is looking for your particular service. So even if you're not a brick and mortar coach and you're an online coach, get reviews and testimonials wherever you can from your clients. So next question, how can I grab those free resources? On the screen again, we'll just pull this up. Our 6 Easter eggs are all nicely laid out, especially Easter egg number 3, which is the multicolored one. That is that bundle of 5 done for you, like the reintroduction script and the 3-way email and the healthy habits form and the posters and the gift certificate. Go grab multicolor Easter egg number 3. And then that free masterclass, that other free resource, that's the blue Easter egg. That's Easter egg number 4. Okay, I love that question. Okay, tip number 1 is just keep posting online as a role model. It might feel like crickets. No one is interacting. There's no engagements. There's no likes. There's no comments. People still see what you're posting, even if they don't engage. So 1 is just be consistent there. 2 would be all about the super connectors. I would go hard into the people super connectors and the location super connectors. If everything got stripped away, that is the first move I would make in rebuilding my own nutrition business. And I think my third tip would be probably hire a mentor. If you're just starting out, a mentor or a guide, it could be as simple as buying a $20 book from the bookstore, read a lot of business books, watch a lot of YouTube videos, hire a coach, go through a certification. Earlier in my career, I really leaned on mentors to help fill the gaps. And looking back, what I was doing is I was paying for speed and experience. And I know I'm way ahead of my peers who stubbornly wouldn't hire coaches, didn't read business books, wouldn't watch educational YouTube videos to help them figure this out. They, just thought they'd figure it out on their own. Some are out of business and some are still struggling. So I think mentors and good coaches and good books are a great way to accelerate a lot faster. So those would be my 3 tips. So I'm just scanning the chat here. I think that looks like those were most of the major questions that came through. Thank you again. Now, for the virtual summit attendees, SuperCoach is running this really awesome deal that if you wanted to grab the recordings from all the speakers over these 3 days, you can get the entire library for $19 and you get lifetime access. You can't even buy these experts' times one-on-one for that price. So from all the keynote speakers, all the incredible guest presenters, I would totally take them up on that. Of course, you don't have to, because you're here live, you got to see this one as it is. But if there's any talks that you missed that you want to go back and catch, I would say the video library is worth it. So I've put that QR code to let you get a copy of all of the recordings. And again, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentations happening this week. Bye.